What's up YouTube? It's Prob here. I usually don't make videos where I appear here, but you know, this is the last chance I have to show the last 3 games of the 20 wins I have. So I'm gonna record this video while I'm on stream. And let's start with the last replay I can show, which is the 18th win against Double Bait with Val. Let's see what's up. Also, let me catch up with chat. Play my account to get 20 wins for me. Problematic car does not endorse account sharing. Okay, Supercell, in case you're watching this video. What up, Yash? Use Poison's Noble Guard if you want. Use Valk. I'll do that later on ladder. For now, we're gonna watch the last 3 games I had for my 20 win challenge. Love to get back into Clash Royale, but I rage too hard. Does it get past stages where it seems unfair? I think it's healthy to take a break where you don't feel like playing, but I only think that you get locked on ladder when you are switching decks all the time and spending a lot of... Oh, by the way, that night block was essential so that my Mortar could hit the Dark Elf. But yeah, pretty much focus on one deck so you can consistently grow and keep growing on ladder. And once you max the deck, the sky is the limit, and always skill is your limit. So if you use the same deck, I think it can help a lot with frustrations. Also, thank you for the follow, Yash. And once you learn the deck, once you master it, you know, try variants, try different archetypes. I think that's the best way to get into the game. If you never really learn any deck, you're gonna stay casual the whole time. If you really want to get into the game, choose a main deck. That would be my tip. So the matchup here is actually not that hard against Double Bait. Because as long as I keep my Mortar for his Skelly Barrel and my Log for his Goblin Barrel, nothing can really get through. This guy is using both Princess and Dark Goblin, which in Double Bait means that he has no spell, like no rocket, no big spell. And that means I can't really get rocketed out. So as long as I defend perfectly the whole time, there is no way I lose this. It doesn't even have Golden Knight, so there is no shenanigans happening there with the Valk getting on the tower super quickly. So as long as I keep control here, everything should be great the whole time. Supercell is checking the 20, getting account, so be sure it's clear not sharing account. Yeah, I think he was making a joke, but still better to specify that. Hydrate from missiles. Let me get some water. Water. It's great. So, as you can see, I've been slowly growing a lead, maybe cycling some spells on the tower whenever I can, you know, getting some cheap damage here and there. But I don't really need to push, like I don't really need to get his tower, because if I push too hard, maybe I overcommit. Yo! Homer J. Simpson himself! Thank you for the sub, bro. Phil finally convinced me to learn Mortar Bait, so I'm here to be a proud disciple. Thank you so much. Well, you are now appearing on the YouTube video I'm making about my 20 wins. So if you want to check out my YouTube, definitely check that out. Thank you so much for the sub. We are all about learning Mortar Bait here and finding out all the little tricks and tips. So, as I was saying, the Double Bait matchup is very, very winnable. Like, you shouldn't lose at all if you play perfectly, as long as they don't have the Golden Knight. With the Golden Knight, it can get a little trickier, or if they have like a cycle variant with Bomb Tower and like Skellies, those can get a little trickier to keep up with the cycle. But this variant right here, it is the most popular variant of Double Bait at the moment, and it's very easy. The Inferno Tower is not that useful against your Skelly Barrel, and they can't really break through. But you can definitely keep chipping them out, even if their defense is perfect. Here you can see this guy spamming a lot, but I keep applying pressure because Let's say, as I said, I already won, so there is no need to get the tower. So let's say I just turtled up on defense the whole time. I could still lose if I did that, because he can like adjust his cycle and pressure me on both lanes in a way that like I don't have a mortar or a log at the right time because I pre-played it. But by keeping the pressure going, I'm also keeping him on defense. So there's really no way that he can break through. I also lost this one. If you guys want, I can show you this replay, but I'd rather not. It was literally just this guy obliterating my tower in one push. So let's watch the 19th win. This one is against, I call this the CRL miner deck, but most people just call it miner rocket, miner control. It's probably the only miner rocket deck in the game that is viable, where there is no other win condition. The miner and the rocket are the win conditions, there's really nothing else. But the nice thing about this is that Mortar Bay has a really good matchup. As you can see, I started off always with like Skelly Barrel in the safe spot to bypass. Is this spot right here. As you can see, I'm highlighting it right now. Or like on the other side right here. You know, it's used to bypass buildings that get placed in the center, here and here. It's probably the best starting play with Mortar Bay. You can also play your spear gobs on the sides, like right here or right here, so they get one spear shot more if ignored. But basically what is happening with this deck is this guy just wants to chip me out very slowly with like miners and rockets and just get a perfect defense. And if I don't really push, then he's gonna do that. If I just defend the whole game, he's gonna outspell me, he's gonna outdamage me with miners and stuff. So what I have to do to win this matchup is I gotta keep pressuring. If I pressure both lanes at the same time, it's even better, because then he gets spread thin. He doesn't have many cards that can help on both lanes at the same time. Only the Inferno Tower, which, you know, if placed in the center, it can't really help against Mortar. So I can definitely break through. This guy can play as perfect as he wants, but if I pressure nicely, there is not many ways he can prevent me from getting a Mortar locked on his tower. What I need to do is like predict the Infernos, sometimes DPS the miners, otherwise they might distract my Mortar. Like right here, if I predicted that Inferno with like a Skelly Barrel or something like that, that would have given me way more Mortar shots. Mortar connections are actually really useful in this matchup. It was a mistake that I didn't defend that Mortar further, because I definitely had the time to react to that Inferno. But, you know, I still ended up winning, so it doesn't really matter. But it's nice to notice mistakes like that. Saving a Mortar is very important. Once a Mortar locks onto the tower, its value increases exponentially. Every single HP that Mortar has is now very valuable. It could mean one more shot, which is often the difference between winning and losing a game. Just one Mortar shot. Especially when this guy is like just chipping me out with miners the whole time. As you can see, like it's very hard to maintain the damage advantage, but I need to keep a damage advantage at all times, because if I get into triple elixir without having a damage deal, the guy can literally just never allow me to connect. I gotta get a connection. Like right now, you see with that knight, I made the Dark Prince jump over the river, and that means that the Mortar retarget onto the tower, because Mortar only targets ground troops, and the princes, when they jump, also the Hog Rider and the Ram Rider, when they jump, they become air troops, so the Mortar can target the tower. You gotta use little tricks like that and keep your Mortars locked on, otherwise there is no way you can win. But if you get into like a pinch, if you get into a situation where, you know, a very tiny amount of damage could make you win the game, you can also start Fireball cycling. Rocket will eventually out damage you, but if you have, let's say, 800 damage lead, that is plenty to win the game, like from now. You know, there is still 1 minute and 40 seconds left. Even if the guy started rocket cycling me now, I could still, well, I actually couldn't now because I don't have the damage lead, but let's say I had 800 damage advantage, which I now have, you know, I could just Fireball cycle for the rest of the game. Like, I don't really need to attack anymore. And it's very important to recognize these situations, because if you keep attacking, let's say you get into triple elixir, the guy plays completely perfectly, you never get a lot, he eventually will rocket cycle you. So right now I really should start Fireball cycling. Both me and him recognized at the same time that that's what the game was turning to, since that it's now triple elixir. So we both start cycling our spells. As you can see, I play my log as soon as it's in my hand. I try to cycle all the cheapest cards and get to the Fireball. Fireball once again as soon as it's in my hand. Cycle as many cards as I need to get to the next one. And with the next Fireball I will win, so log the miner out of the tower, get to the Fireball, and that is GG. Recognizing spell damage is really, really important, guys. It still feels really goofy seeing the princess jump. Yeah, man, like that's the thing about Clash Royale. Things change so often. If you leave the game for a while and come back, everything's gonna be changed. But let me now show you guys the last game of my 20 win challenge run. We now saw the 18 wins and the 19 wins. Let's show the last one. This is against Do Flamingo. I don't really know this guy, but let's check his profile. I mean, pretty strong guy, 375 in the world. I don't know if he still got... Yeah, he didn't get the 20 win. I might have prevented this guy from getting his 20th win. And for that, I'm really sorry because he doesn't have the Pass Royale. But what can I say? Everything is fair in love and war. So this is the last game. It's not as good of a matchup as the last two. The last two matchups are really okay. Like both Double Bait and... what was the other one? And Minor Rocket, Minor Control. Both of those are very doable if you just stay focused and don't make a mistake, because both of those actually can just completely turn the matchup around by just getting a damage lead. As soon as they have more damage on your tower than you, you have now lost. It's up to you to get the damage. The only reason they're good matchups is because you can just chill on defense and spell cycle them after you get a little damage lead. But this one right here, this is known as the Ramses deck. It is a Skelly King with Royal Giant and Zappius. And it was invented by Officer Ramses, which is, by the way, shout out to Officer Ramses. He also streams on Twitch in English. Which is, in my opinion, the best Zappius player in the whole game. So definitely check him out. But also, fuck him for you know, making this deck, because it's really hard matchup. It's a really hard matchup for Mortar bait, and they can actually, if you go against a variant with lightning, they can literally beat you no matter what. You can go double lane, you can go single lane. The only way you can beat them is by keeping them on defense the whole game, pretty much, never allowing them to build a push that has both the Royal Giant and Lightning. This version, however, it has Fireball, so it comes down to whoever gets the most cheap damage with their troops, whoever manages to reach anything on tower, like any damage whatsoever, is the one that's gonna win. Because both me and him, well, we don't have similar cycles, but I do have to spend more on defense, so we can cycle more or less the same amount of spells on each other's tower, and we both have Log and Fireball, so you know, the damage lead is gonna be decided by who can connect on the tower, not who can cycle the most spells. And right now he has a small damage lead, so I need to pressure a lot. I need to get a lock, and I'm not really double lane pressuring because he has the variant with Mother Witch. Some decks use Ewiz instead of Mother Witch, and with those decks I can actually double lane pressure. But the problem with Mother Witch is I gotta keep a Fireball in my hand every time I go for a Scally Barrel. Otherwise, he's gonna completely destroy my tower with the counter push, with all the piggies. So I'm going single lane this whole game, and as you saw, I got a little Mortar lock when the Fisherman got locked on the Mortar. So I allowed the Fisherman to connect so that my Mortar could get the shot, and now I have the damage lead, which I need to keep for the rest of the game if I don't want to choke this. Keep in mind, at this point I was 19 wins and 2 losses, so the pressure was on because I've been trying a bunch. I had some friends over that were like, their visit coincided exactly with the 20 win challenge, so I never had any time to actually grind it for like hours, and I was playing this in the morning at like 5 AM 6 AM because I accidentally woke up sooner than them. So instead of waking them up, I just started playing the 20 win challenge, and that was at 15 wins and 0 losses. But then I got my first loss. I was 15-1. I got all the way to 18 wins. I got my second loss, and I had to get the last 2 without losing, because if I lost any of those I would be back to square one and I would not get the 20 wins. So the pressure was really on here. I really didn't want to choke, but of course that makes you play worse. It doesn't make you play better. Play ladder, bro. Plays are boring. I'm already good at this game. I understand your frustration, Twitch viewer, but I'm also recording a YouTube video for the bros on YouTube right there to show them the 20 wins that I got with Mortar bait. Because some people are just looking at my YouTube because they want to learn Mortar bait, and I'd say 20 wins. If you look at my YouTube feed right now, I got a Clash Royale only YouTube feed, only for Clash Royale YouTube accounts that I follow, and every single video in my Clash Royale YouTube feed is about the 20 wins. Because it doesn't matter if you're a one trick, if you're like a content creator or like a pro or anything, people want to see which deck you used to get to 20 wins. And especially if you're a one trick, I feel like people are kinda counting on having at least one 20 wins video for their deck. And I don't think anyone else is gonna put one out for Mortar bait. So, you know, I can only show 3 games. I'm kinda sorry for that. But this is how to get 20 wins with Mortar bait, bro. By now, I was like, I don't even want to get damage on his tower. I already won. I just need to keep cycling spells and never let him connect. So I just stacked everything at the bridge. I didn't even let anything get through. By the way, a Mortar Shell plus a log does kill a Mother Witch, so that is very useful to know against Mother Witch decks. I almost choked right there by placing my Goblin and right into his Mother Witch, but I placed a Desperation Musketeer just to, you know, not die last second. At this point I was kinda just hoping it wouldn't break through in the last 10 seconds, just spamming everything, not allowing him to get anywhere, just cycling all my Mortars. Get a Fireball on the tower, just to be sure, cycle the log, and yeah, that was the 20th win. Thank you everybody for looking at this. Subscribe to my YouTube if you haven't. I don't usually say this, but this is not a usual video. And I hope I can put some more videos out, like matchup requests and stuff. If you guys are trying to learn Mortar bait and you have difficulty with a specific matchup, ask me either in the YouTube comments or on Twitch or something for that matchup, and I will upload it. And that's about it. Peace out from Prob. Bye.